so now we're gonna gotta go back to Twitch. Go to see if... Let's see if... There we go. There, I fixed a lot of the problem. Black screen. Fucking annoying. But I fixed it. At least I figured that was happening. Okay, cool. Let me say blur blur. Oops, screen capture. Okay, so how's that feeling? Is that looking okay? Now we're gonna watch this on the tablet. Let's see what it looks like on Twitch, right? Alright, what is it today? Go Twitch TV.
Josh was one of the people who was affected and was not able to get onto Discord for a bit.
Is that Earthbound? It's Pokemon Emerald. Hey, coming through a little better now. Take this to my other screen. Oops, microphone got bumped. Check, 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 check. Oops, microphone got bumped. Check, 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 check. It's still far too low. Check, 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 check. It's still far too low. Check, 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 check. Okay, I'm learning. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Okay, I'm learning. Check, check, check. Okay. And hopefully we fix a lot of problems. Check, check, check. Okay. And hopefully we fix a lot of problems. Oh, what's up, number 2? Good morning. Okay. I was messing with my video and sound, trying to get the best, like, you know, to tune it well. Okay. Oh, I screwed around until it was too late, huh? Yeah, I did. That's alright. So, back to the drawing board. As I was doing last night, we were on the Fallout 4 Nexus, and now... Nexus mods, and we're looking for mods of the mod category variety. Yeah, base is still up. Yeah, base is up. Yeah, I just checked. I got on, I checked, and I was having video problems on my tablet. I couldn't figure out why, and it was because it was streaming in my native resolution, which is 1440p, but Twitch can't handle 1440p. So while I was doing that, I've been checking the base. Yeah, and at least this base is intact. I didn't think to check the other base. I'll check the other base. I'm also... Oh, no. There we go. Yeah, base is intact, so I'm not on here very long. I'm just... and also, somebody popped this door. I'm not really certain why they popped this door. But they definitely did pop these two doors. Or, no, well, no, that door. I don't know why they popped this door. I don't know why. And it's like a scripter or somebody who... like, has a lot of time on their hands. I'm guessing Russian. Because they'll do weird stuff like this. They'll go one door in just to see what you're hiding. But I don't really understand that. There's a window here. It's a solo player, and he's bad. And he saw my base, and he thinks, oh, it's a bad base. But no, it's a good base. It's either 2 high-qual walls... or like 15 doors. It's a good solo base. It's not that bad in terms of Like, you know, there's no inherent weakness to it. There's no, I know firsthand that they'd have to blow 3 roofs, 2 high qual walls, or 15 doors for a solo base that took me like 4 hours to make. And so, you know, I don't expect a raid. I actually don't expect one, but it has always happened. So, you know, I can go off the information that I have, but one of the hard things about Rust is you don't always have the information of your enemy at all. I would say it's really more like 95% of the, 95% of the time, you have like 5% of the information of what's actually going on. So conjecture is not something that I like dealing in, because, you know, it's just, I don't know. I can make my solo assumptions, because when I logged in, there was a mystery. See, it was like somebody wanted me to know that they were looking at me, but they also fumbled it. They fumbled and bumbled it. I don't think it's the stream sniper. I think it's somebody who's bad. And honestly, this is gonna sound like racist or countryist or something, but oftentimes the new people in the scene are Russian, and they tend to have a lot of time on their hands, and they tend to not fundamentally understand how the game works. So they'll do weird stuff like pop this stable door, and because he's solo, he can't actually see in this window, and he doesn't have the ladder BP, or he would have ran a ladder BP up my window, and he can't take the ladder off the wall because he doesn't have priv. So another thing that I haven't done that I'm about to go do is I'm going to watch the walls for a ladder. And see, so notice this guy, I mean, he can jump up and he can make an assumption about what's in here. A pretty good assumption. That's the door that he popped, right there. And it makes no sense because whoever it is, they stopped. Now, when I came in, and this was like, I don't know, 7 minutes ago or something like that, I had to kill a scarecrow, which means that either the person on the stream is the stream sniper and bailed out when they saw me get online on Twitch, which is more likely the case, I would say. Somebody on this server is watching my stream, and when I showed up, I don't know why, but they killed themselves. And they killed themselves because, like, I know that they did this, they killed themselves with armor on that they didn't care about, and when they killed themselves, they left a copy of themselves in the form of a scarecrow. Now, the scarecrow body has faded, because bodies fade fast. Bags don't, but bodies, fade fast, right? But so this is how like a seasoned Rust player would look at this. There was evidence of a crime here. The evidence is that this door is absolutely missing. It's stupid that they didn't go through this door, because if they're willing to blow a door right here, and how they were doing it is kind of suspect, right? I don't know how they were doing this, but they went, it's going to be a duo. They went up the wall. No, they didn't go up a wall. It's a Russian duo. And I've seen them before, and I've met them before, and I might have brought them to the server, and they might be listening to this conversation right now. And that's okay, but I'm just making like an educated guess at my enemy here. A smart man would have done the wooden frame. Smart experienced player would have done the wooden frame and never missed it. They would have seen the wooden frame. That's one of the reasons why I left the frame wood. Is it's like if you tempt them, right? You can have traps that harm people, but you can also have traps like, okay, an example of one is what I used to use when I was a kid. When I was hiding things from my parents, like drugs or whatever, when I was a kid, I would use a system of 2 pieces of tape and a hair on my drawers to make sure that nobody had popped the hair, and if they had, what they had seen, and how bad of a problem I had, right? Did they find my marijuana and my bong that was drained to the water, hidden up in a bag tucked in my back drawer? Did they find my porn? Did they find my cigarette, my carton of cigarettes when I'm 15 years old? Do they find $400 in cash and a bug out kit with antibiotics. And I mean, I was doing this shit when I was like 15. I would keep like $400 cash because my mother did shit like this. I kept bottles of antibiotics and $400 cash, so if I ever had to bug out for the border or whatever, I might actually have a surviving chance if I took an injury or had to buy a ticket or something like that, right? And so, like, so you keep a hair between two pieces of tape, and if the person violates your privacy, they did it, because they can maybe reset the hair, but it's unlikely. They're gonna have to they'll really have to work a lot harder to do that. People that are going through your drawers, they're doing that in a hurry. So, so you tape the hair in a way, and if they don't have the same color of hair that you do, they can't put the same piece of hair back. And I used to use this as a security thing. So rust is the same thing. So I leave things like a wooden frame to tempt the Russians, who are probably on the server right now, to tempt the Russians to come, like, pop the frame, come in here, figure out what this is, and then get so weirded about this door that they pop the door. Now, I managed to trip them, and I managed to trip them up, and I managed to force them to leave evidence that they were here, like I've been doing to the stream sniper every single time they leave a paper trail or a follow or anything like that. I take the paper trail, and I can tell myself in a court of law anyways that there was evidence of tampering here, there was evidence that somebody's targeted me, there's evidence that somebody's been to my base and popped a door. So now we go around and we look at the perimeter, we scan the walls for ladders. We know that he popped this door up here. And normally I wouldn't even say anything about all of this. Like, all of this stuff is going through my mind, but I won't normally even say it on stream unless somebody asks. So you asked, did somebody raid my base? Yes, somebody did raid my base. They came in across the top here to that door, and they blew in through that door for some reason, and then they stopped. Now, you can make a lot of inferences about this. It's kind of like coming home, not inferences, but you can draw a lot of conclusions, probably false ones. Kind of like when you've been a victim of a crime, right? So you come home and there's a shattered window at your house. But you realize that the window that they broke, then this is exactly the situation that I logged into. The window that they broke leads to like your crappy outside hallway that they call like the foyer or something like that, right? And so, so the Russians duo is this, and I say these things with a sense of complete, like, guessing. I'm not stating this as fact. I'm totally guessing. I'm making a profile like Tony Hill from Wire in the Blood. I'm doing a serial killer criminal profile on the people who have offended me here, because I don't go do this sort of thing to other people very much anymore. So to me, it feels kind of like a personal trespass or like crime. It's like I come home to my nice house and I'm not the type to break into houses. So it's like, it sort of bothers me when they act like this. So, I mean, I've done it in Rust a lot, but not in real life. And I don't like evictions, and I don't like breaking into people's houses. It's a violation of trust in the public that I didn't think was very good for the game. And so we can make other assumptions, right? So we know that it's a duo now because, well, we know it's a duo, but we also know they're completely inexperienced and don't have any hours, because there's two problems with this. Either it's a solo and he's stupid. There's two ways that he could have done what he did. Two ways, right? Or three ways, really. There's three ways. There's three ways, and it's a mystery. The way I built this, notice I can't jump up on this roof, and this is on purpose, right? I don't have a wall because I do want the evidence when they come to visit me. I want to shoot them. I want them to come on my land. I want them to fight me. I want them to raid me. I don't want them to raid me, but I mean I want them to play the game and be on the same server as me and do stuff on the server, right? So I don't begrudge them raids. I don't begrudge them trespassing. I don't begrudge them coming to my lawn. I don't own anything but the base. I don't own the land. I don't wall them out. They can come check it out if they want to. But I let the frame to the crappy stable wood, because I figured any idiot will come, and this is like this. Okay, when they see a wood frame like this, they think, oh, I'm so smart. And this is really true, by the way. What I'm going to say is really powerfully important and smart about human intellect. Now, really dumb people tell themselves that they're really smart all the time, right? And the difference is they're wasting their time trying to tell people how much smarter they are than them, or how much better they are than them. They're braggadocio instead of actual work. So I go about the business of doing the actual work to understand what the threats are, to stop them, solo, thwart them, and be successful in the end. I don't go fucking talking shit about my enemy and assuming they're bad or any of this stuff. Now, I might make profile assumptions like that. Like, I make assumptions here, like the smart man would have popped the wood frame and stolen the wood from the trough and taken a look at what the deal with the door was. And another problem is, right, and you think of it like a crime scene, and my friend Kaboomkin taught me this. The most skilled Rust player I ever met was my friend Kaboomkin. And it was weird because I had access to Kaboomkin. I could write him up right now and be like, yeah, Kaboomkin, how do you feel about Rust right now? And he would answer. He's a friend of mine, you know? And so, but Kaboomkin taught me how to think of this shit. He's like, this is how they're going to do this. He's like, this, look at approaches, Cat. Look at the way they're going to go. Look at the way that their TC is exposed. Look at the way that they approach. Look at the stupid shit that they did. Make assumptions about the stupid shit that they did. You can probably freely make assumptions that if they're going to do stupid shit, like get up on the roof and pop that door, as opposed to getting up and popping these doors, or popping the frame and doing this door. They did the stupidest fucking possible thing that they could do, which was getting on, and I say they, which is also a very detective thing to say. It's like being a detective in Disco Elysium. You have to be able to understand what you saw. So I can make my assumptions that they're stupid based off that the wood frame is still intact, that they went and did this door. If you look at it from their point of view, which is something else Kaboomkin taught me, right, you can see that they don't like how there's window frames. If you're looking at this like a criminal from the outside, licking the windows, and I used to taunt the stream sniper about this all the time, right? I used to say, hey man, we're in this situation where I'm standing on the top of the roof of my base again, and you're down there outside the door with an Ayoka, and I'm up here with a SAR or a Colt or a Python or a Balti, and you're down there naked with an Ayoka trying to lick the windows and come in the front door again, because that's the natural state of things. You were always going to be down there at the front door of the club or the front door of the base or whatever, licking the windows and lusting after things that you don't have. If that's your vibe, that's what your whole fucking shebang's gonna be. If that's the mentality that you adopt, that is what your reality is gonna be. If you think it's fun to stand outside of a door here and lick the windows for 2 fucking hours or whatever, eco rating through some wall frame or some such, and you think that shit's fun, and I used to hit the stream sniper with this a lot. Get used to standing outside of doors naked with nothing, penniless. Build the base, be the solo guy who's strong enough to deal with all of his problems by his or herself, you know? Like, don't be the guy licking the windows and coming in through the door acting like a criminal. Be the rich guy with the base who doesn't need to covet other people's shit, who worries about security and traces the crime of somebody trespassing him and looking at a wall frame and looking at a door. Now, I did something really stupid with the stable, which was that I want access to the fucking stable, right? So I opened up my base to the stable, and I didn't plug this hole. Now, I could have plugged the hole, but I didn't, because I was also thinking, well, if it gets so bad that I'm being raided, I can pop this door, I can shoot through this gap if they're on the roof trying to door camp. I can come out here and I can spray them or with a revolver or something like that right here if they're on the roof either here or there. So tactically, they view this as a complete bonehead fuck up of a mistake, and which is why he pops this door, right? And you can see what he's thinking. He's like, "What's in here? You must be hiding your sulfur here." And honestly, I am hiding my sulfur here. I am hiding my sulfur here. Hiding being 2 doors in all of the sulfur in the base is right here. Do you see it? It's right here. This is all the sulfur in the base, the yellow and the gray, right? That's when you look at raids, you call it profit when you walk away with the explosives materials to make more bombs. So sulfur, all the sulfur and all the GP is in a box right here with a note that said, "All the sulfur, I swear to God, please leave base. I am after zombies, not you," right? Not you. I don't raid. Please, I ask you the same. If you raid, please leave base. And this is psychological shit. When they get here and they think, oh my God, he left a note with all the sulfur, right? But what I'm trying to do is introduce a grain of doubt in his little king tyrant piece of shit low IQ mind, where he sees the note, right? Now he inherently believes that this is a lie because his entire bullshit Tyrant King life is a lie. Everything he tells everybody in the voice chat is lies. All the braggadocio in the Discord is lies. All the stuff he says about his about the real, in the real life is lies. And they just don't know what the reality is. So you introduce this grain of doubt in their mind, where I'm trying to force them to logically think about the situation. When they get 4 doors deep, they're going to realize they've got another 10 doors to go. And when they see the only sulfur in the base, they're not going to believe me when I say, please, this is all the sulfur. I swear to God, please leave the base. I'm after zombies, right? They're going to be thinking, oh, this guy's a bullshit liar. He's a bullshit liar. He's got a box of sulfur in there. He's got a box of sulfur in there. He's Scrooge McDuck. The base is so big. He's got a big box of sulfur in there. He's Scrooge McDuck. There's a big bank vault of gold coins in there. He's lying. There's sulfur in the base. You can tell what they're going to think when they see this, right? I'm serious about this, too. So, but it's going to introduce a grain of doubt in his mind. And when he gets down a door or 2 or 3, he's going to see that, yeah, there's wood, but there's nothing in here. There's 4 scrap, a couple of comps, and there's some wood and a stack of stone. But as he gets down, he sees another box with nothing but wood and a few comps. And then he comes down, and he sees another box with nothing but wood and a few comps and 300 cloth. And he begins to realize that this crude oil is probably the only loot, besides this fuel and this crude and this sulfur. This is probably the only, this is how a real successful Rust player thinks. It's all about psychology. It really is. They're going to be like, wait, I think this is all the sulfur in the base, and they're going to stop there. They're going to stop right here, and they're going to leave me the rest of the base. And the real secret that I'm hiding is, yes, I do have about 6K metal frags in here, which is a pittance. By Rust standards, that is a pittance. It is something that you can attain in 2 hours. So what I'm really trying to hide, it's not even 6K, is this 4,200 metal frags, right? And this 60 high qual, and this 400 scrap, and this crappy amount of stone that nobody values, right? So I have like 4 things in the base that matter at all, but I don't want those 4 things taken from me. So you can look rich like I do with this base, but you must have a reality of poor. When they come in the front door and they see that you don't have anything but crappy furniture and busted out plastic fantastic shit from the 70s, and it's obvious you're an alcoholic because there's empty bottles everywhere, and your wife's cheating on you because she didn't answer the door, she's just straight gone. And they get in there and you're like, oh man, this guy's already fucking robbed himself. We don't need to rob him, and he doesn't have anything. And that's the vibe, right? And it's true, too. I don't have anything. And I really want them to think I don't have anything, because I don't have anything. I really don't want the raid, because it doesn't actually stop me in any way or form, except it caused me a minor inconvenience for 2 hours. So I spend I spend less time than 2 hours setting up little psychological traps like this, where I convince them not to raid me, where I give them what they're looking for 2 doors in, so they don't go the other 10 doors and get my 5K metal frags, which is like, I'm gonna go get 5K metal frags right now. It's really easy to get 5K metal frags you can get in like less than an hour. So, but this is the sort of shit that I have to do to protect 5K metal frags. This is what it's like to live in the ghetto. if you want to have a television and a video game console in the ghetto, you have to live like this with crappy chairs on the fucking, you know, on the patio. That one of the things about the ghetto, when you actually live there, when you actually have lived in the ghetto, you begin to understand that almost nobody there is truly poor. You know, a lot of them are truly poor, but I mean, like, nobody there is truly poor. They do have beds and houses and lives and jobs, and they eat, and they're not truly starving, and if they are, they have food stamps and stuff. But they don't have any money, they don't have any liquid money to spend on anything. So, you know, so look at it like that. If you're living in the ghetto, you don't go walking around with a fucking mink coat. And I did that. When I built that base that big and that rich, it's like putting a big mink coat on with a big gold 2 chains, like that idiot rapper 2 Chainz talks about, whatever. 2 chains instead of 1, right? Fuck 2 Chainz. Okay, you know what the worst thing I ever heard come out of the game in 29 years of hip-hop and rap is the name 2 Chainz. That's like saying, oh, I threw $1 million into the monkey cage at the zoo. And that's not some fucking racist thing. I'm not because of the monkey thing. I'm talking about poor people. I'm not talking about, like, black people or Mexicans or anybody. Like, I'm talking, honestly, I think these days it's more likely to happen from white people than it is blacks and Mexicans. I'm not talking about race when I say the monkey cage at the zoo. I'm talking about fucking the poverty monkeys who have no money, who will steal your shit if you go into the fucking, like, you know, if you walk into the ghetto zoo with $1 million worth of 2 chains. And so anybody talking about 2 fucking chains absolutely is not a good rapper, absolutely never was in the game, absolutely never sold some crack or stood on a corner, absolutely never had a pistol stuck in his fucking face, absolutely has no fucking clue about the game. Sure, I'm sure he's got dead homies like all the rest of us, but I'm sorry, anybody bragging about 2 chains is a goddamn fucking moron that shouldn't be selling rap to people who live in the ghetto, because the last thing you should ever fucking suggest anybody in the ghetto does is wear 2 chains. It's the worst goddamn advice, literally, in the entire fucking American, or what else, English lexicon. There's 2 words that you don't want to use in the hip-hop rap scene, and it's 2 chains. Yeah, I'll take your 2 fucking chains. I actually came up in the ghetto rap scene, and I'll take your 2 chains. Yeah, I'll take your 2 chains. Yeah. And Rust is no different. So when you build a base like that looks super fucking rich, right? It's a mink coat. And yeah, you're Frank Wright, like from American Gangster, and you went down with your hot wife to the fucking boxing match and shit. And yeah, you dressed up in the ghetto with a mink coat. All the rappers and the dealers and the fucking, you know, the people who got rich in the ghetto do it too. We all wear mink coats in the fucking ghetto, but understand that shit has consequences. And yeah, I don't care if you're Kim Kardashian. I'm taking your $15 million ring. I don't give a fuck. If you leave it on the fucking counter of a hotel room, I'm taking your goddamn $15 million ring. I don't care. I know that sounds morally fucking bankrupt, but honestly, you spending $15 million on a gold ring sounds a lot more morally bankrupt to me than stealing the ring. Reality and truth when you hear them. Anyways, so now we're going on. I gotta launch Skyrim. We're gonna get off all the negativity and the rants and stuff before it gets like a bullet train and out of control. Gonna load the Skyrim, and I'm gonna switch up entirely on content and all this. But Rust will teach you how to live. I guess it's the point I'm getting at. Rust will teach you how to live in a sea full of crazy monkeys who are literally crawling up your fucking leg with a knife in their fucking teeth, both in real life and in the game. It doesn't matter. They'll do it in real life too. The world is comprised of monkeys who are literally like a Bored Ape Yacht Club of idiots who are so bored and so greedy that they think that it's cool to crawl up your fucking leg with a knife in their fucking teeth and take your shit by blowing in your front doors and robbing your house. Rust is like that. Real life is like that. War is like that. Everything is like that. And I'm sorry, but I mean, I believe we can be better people than that now. In the core gameplay loop of Rust, it'll teach you how to defend yourself against the heathen horde. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's still a bad premise. We shouldn't have to worry about humanity like this. It's because of the poverty. the bullying, the school shootings, the bullshit, it's all due to overpopulation and poverty, you know? And so I don't know, like Rust is an interesting, you know, experiment because you go out into the free world and you build something, somebody's going to come and try and take it from you. This is how the real world works. That's how Rust works. And Rust will teach you a lot about the true avarice of your average fellow man. If they think that, if they walk past and you just got knocked by a zombie, not only are they not going to pick you up, they're going to pick your pockets as they leave and say that it's your fault that you couldn't dig yourself out of that situation and that you were in the situation in the first place, and that it's not their duty as good human beings to help you pick you up, kill the zombies, and help you get out of that shitty situation, right? And this is the difference between good people and bad people in the modern age. Will they stick their finger down your throat when you fought, when, you know, to quote, Behind Blue Eyes by The Who, right? Okay, whether a person in your life is good or bad, right? My test is when I heard that song Behind Blue Eyes and I heard the lyrics and I understood it. Roger Daltrey, I think, or was that his name? Roger? I think Roger Daltrey. I think I can't remember his name. Tim Daltrey. I can't remember the names of the Who. But the lead singer of the Who, was it Townsend? I can't remember which one it was. But the lead singer of the Who was talking about how, you know, if I swallow anything evil, stick your finger down my throat, and if I'm freezing, please do me a solid and let me wear your coat, right? And this is the difference. You want people that are going to give you their coats and pick you up after the zombie knocks you, kill them, and not pick your pockets and rob your base when you're down. Those are the people that you want in your life. Rust and the real life has definitely made it more advantageous for you to fuck other people over than it is to help them. And so Rust is an excellent, like lesson about life. People will inherently not help you anymore. They think it's funny when you drown. They think you put yourself in that situation. They think if you were truly powerful or worthy the time of saving, that you would get yourself out of it. And often that is the case, too. That's the worst part about it. Often that's the case. If you're actually a person worth their fucking salt, if you get in a bad fucking situation, you probably need to be able to get the fuck out of that. You know, you probably need to be able to get the fuck out of that by yourself, because the nature of humanity is look out for number one. You know, look out for number one. It's not look out for number two who just got knocked on the concrete and the zombie's eating him. It's look out for number one, pickpocket him and run, right? And once you lose your bias about this, I had a bias going into it for 3 fucking years. I was like, oh my god, humanity is shit. People equal shit. Slipknot was right. Humanity is an unwashed horde full of heathens that'll just rob you as soon as say hello to you and all this. And I wasn't that far off from the truth. But it's not so bad as that. It's actually just understanding that them looking out for you is not what they're programmed by God or nature or, you know, Shiva or whatever the fuck you believe in, you know, Rama Sutra or Brahmin or you know, fucking Buddha or Bhagavad Gita or whatever the fuck you believe in, like, you know, Islam, whatever the fuck you believe in religiously or even atheism or anything in between, right? It's in human nature to look out for number one, not number two. It sucks, but it is, and it's a really hard thing to understand. It's the sort of thing that we need God for. It's to understand that, yeah, humanity is pretty much heartless and will fuck you over as soon as shake your hand and say hello, you know? So how do we deal with this? Well, one of the ways is getting educated, getting fucking smart, understanding that they aren't inherently evil. It's just not in their programming to look out for you. It's in their programming to look out for them and theirs, right? And so, yeah, you know, and so this is the lesson. So and Rust is a good lesson in that. If they can fuck you over in a particular way, they will fuck you over in a particular way, kind of like Murphy's Law. So if you leave it open, if you leave it open to them, if you have a marriage without a prenuptial agreement, if you have a home without a security system, if you have a child without oversight, if you have a life without discipline and structure, if you have things like a home but no way to deal with the grid going down or this kind of thing, if you don't think about the future, if you don't take care of your own, if you think the government's going to save you when the grid goes down, you are sadly mistaken, and you'll be among the first to go. And so that, so one of the things that I did was about 7 years ago, I went out into the real world, and I have some credit in the real world, not much, but enough to ask for a shower and get one, ask for a change of clothes and get one. I don't have a lot of credit in the straight real world, but I do but I do have some friends who will look out for me, who I have put my life at risk to save and have saved their lives and stuff like that. So I do have some credit in the fake world of people who don't comprise anybody with actual power. So the fake world will protect me and give me a shower and a change of clothes and help me with my mental therapy and stuff, and help me get up back on my feet, and will make sure I never starve and I'm never wanting for anything and I'm never freezing to death. But there's this unspoken thing in the background. I don't expect them to look out for me if I'm in my worst situation. I look out for myself. And they don't expect me to look out for them if they're in their worst situation. They look out for themselves. Now, I come to them and I say, I done fucked up and I'm an ex-drug addict now, but I was a drug addict back then. 7 years ago, I walked out the front door with nothing but the clothes off my back, and I learned how to make it on the fucking street with nothing but the clothes off my back, and I did this successfully for 7 years. And it took me 7 years to even understand what it was I was doing. You remember in Forrest Gump when he runs out on the, it's weird because it's like this ghetto version of Forrest Gump, my life, right? Ghetto ass version of Forrest Gump, right? Remember when he was running out there on the highways for like 2 years, and he rubs his face and ooh, free double barrel. Look at this, guys, free double barrel. Yeah. Free double barrel is good. Yeah, I'll take a free double barrel. Thank you for a free double barrel. Oh, we say thank you to the Rust Gods. If you're going to hide a stash, fucking hide a stash. Don't be lazy and not forget to hide it or whatever. Just give me your double barrel right now. Them's are the breaks. Don't leave your stash unhidden or I'll take your shit. And now I got a gun just for wandering around talking on my stream, which shows you that the nature of the energy was such that if I was going to do anything that was going to profit me right now, it was walking around and doing exactly what I felt like doing in the moment. And then when I did that, the universe rewarded me with a double-barrel shotgun out of nowhere. And a full belly and a crossbow with full attachments. Now, I don't know why this happened. It just happened. And that's an example of the energy. If you put it out to the universe, you will get what you want back. So, so I don't go around people like so Forrest Gump goes running, and they ask him why, and he says, "Well, I lost Jenny, which is what happened to me. I lost my Jenny, and I'm not sure if she's like a drug addict now or has AIDS or anything. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I lost 2 Jennies. I lost one to HIV and AIDS and Hep C, and the other one I just lost because a man threatened to kill us and attempted to kill me. And so I lost my Jennies, and I went running. But to me, running was going out the front door with nothing but the clothes off my back and becoming a stronger man than the poverty, a stronger man than the homelessness, a stronger man than the pigs, a stronger man than the system, a stronger man than the prison industrial complex, a stronger man than the government, a stronger man than my parents, a stronger man than my friends, a stronger man than anybody I've ever met. And I did, and just like Mickey Blue Eyes, I did it all my way too. I don't remember taking counsel from anybody but my 2 best friends ever about anything that I did. Like it was a mistake. When I was like 13 years old, I saw the movie Phantom Menace, and that was a mistake for me because it was like a mistake for me to go crazy on my own ego when I heard motherfucking Yoda saying, my own counsel will I keep about who gets to be a Jedi or not. My own counsel will I keep. I don't care about what the government or my parents think. My own fucking counsel I will keep about my own lifestyle and with my party lifestyle and who I chose to be, or drugs, or any of the shit that I did. My own counsel will I keep about that, or my lifestyle, or any of the choices that I make. I don't care what they think about any of that. So, so now, so 7 years ago, I walk out the fucking front door with nothing but the clothes off my back, thinking that I am a slave to my parents, I am a slave to my best friends, I am a slave to my crew, I'm a slave to my drug crew, I'm a slave to these drug dealer girls, like with the magic cell phones, I'm a slave to the drug, I'm a slave to poverty, I'm a slave to my car and my gas tank, I put like $400 worth of gas into my car every week, I'm a slave to my job, I'm a slave to the system, I'm a slave to the system trying to fuck me, the system saying that I'm going to jail for 10 years, and I'm just a slave. I was a slave. I was a slave in every way and fucking form. So what did I do? I didn't know what I needed to do. I just needed to know that I did it. I went out the front door and I started doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do. I didn't believe that I needed like a tent or a bag or a place to stay or food or water. And in reality, history shows that I didn't need those things. I flew by the seat of my pants that entire fucking time. I had some food stamps and a dream. That was it. Maybe some help from my friends when it came to like a tent and some food. But I mean, like overall, maybe some cigarettes and alcohol money and shit like that. But I mean, overall, like maybe some money from my mother. But I did it, almost all of it my way. And so by the end of it, they were knocking down the burnt out restaurant that I lived in for like 5 years off and on, between a couch and a burnt out restaurant. And their homelessness had not destroyed me. The deepest, coldest winter in the Rocky Mountains had not destroyed me. The man trying to kill me had not destroyed me. The man who scared the love of my life away had not destroyed me. The system had not destroyed me. My parents had not destroyed me. The college had not destroyed me. The debt had not destroyed me. None of it had destroyed me. Like I spent like 15 years. I spent 15 fucking years believing that I had been destroyed. So then I walked out the fucking front door thinking, well, fuck my parents, fuck the government, fuck my people, fuck the girlfriends who don't stick around, you know what I'm saying? Fuck the, fuck the girlfriends, but just like fuck the, I don't know, but like if I'm with the love of my life, I'm not leaving, you know what I'm saying? And that happened to me twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't happen to me with the long-term relationships that I was in, but the ones that I was building, I lost those because drugs ruined them. The drugs ruined the two best relationships of my life. That was M and C. And like M and C were the two best girls I ever dated. When they were between the ages of 33 and 39. The two best women I ever dated was when I was in my mid 30s. They loved me the best. They were the most loyal to me. They fed me when I was starving and hysterical and naked on the streets and stuff. They cared when I was crying. They listened to me. They were there with me in the darkest times of my life. They were the only people in the courtroom sometimes. They were, it was like, I love those women with all my heart and fucking soul. But the drugs and the people ruined us. They ruined them. They ruined me. They ruined everything about us, all our personality and everything. And when I lost them, it was not a surprise to me. And I blamed myself, not them. I'm not saying fuck them for leaving. I'm saying it sucks that we're so caught up in this drama that we can't be loyal and loving to each other. It sucks, it sucks. I kind of needed it. At the end of it, I was staring down the barrel of a double barrel shotgun. One round being the death of my family and my friends, and the other round being the death of me and my relationship to humanity. And so I took the 2 shots to the dome, and I expected to die, but I didn't. I walked out the front door with nothing, and I had nothing but a cell phone, some food stamps, and a dream, and I lived that way for 7 years, where I was like, I just don't believe I want to sign the human contract. I don't believe I want to be part of this. I don't believe that love was worth it, because the pain that came with it was way, way worse than the joy that it brought for the brief periods that it was there. I don't believe that, and I love love, and I believe in love being the strongest force on this planet, but I just don't think it's an emotion for me anymore. You know, I feel it for my family, but they'll soon be gone. And then that'll be the last bastion of the love in my life, completely gone, because the people that I did love, the women that I loved, they didn't stick around very long. You know? And that's what happens when you fall in love with, like, crazy, genius, risque, beautiful, perfect 10 women who have the same issues that you've got, and daddy issues and mommy issues and all this other shit, and they're burning their way through the empty hole, trying to fill the hole with drugs and pussy and whatever the fuck else, right? They're doing the same thing you're doing, and no, they don't stick around because their life is such chaotic vampire craziness and everybody's trying to feed off them because they're beautiful and wonderful all the time, that they can't remain your friend for very long before the inevitable destruction of your and their life due to the shitty humans around them has jaded your friendship and your relationship so badly that you're just not together anymore. And that happened to me twice. To the point where the other shitty humans have become so shitty in our lives that we couldn't freely love each other past the sighs that we were sighing because of the horrible prison industrial complex regime and the death of our family and the death of our country and the death of our money and the death of our and now it's the dark ages and it'll be 10 years before the poverty lifts. And I'm not some doomer gloomer talking about, oh, woe is me. I'm actually today's the best day of my life. I just had to go up against these things on a meta, like holy meta level in my soul, and my solution to it was walking away and learning to be stronger than all of those things that I considered to be powerful enough to destroy me. And when I no longer had a downward idiot doom, or I didn't have a idiot down like a downward. My favorite album of all time is The Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails, and I would say that's pretty much a good summation of my entire life, a downward spiral, right? And I love that album. It was my favorite album when I was 13 years old, and it's still my favorite album 27 years later, because it's an album about the inevitable destruction of everything that you love. And by the end of it, Trent Reznor is saying, "Here, you can have it. You can have my empire of shit. I don't want it. Here's my crown of shit. I don't want it anymore. Goodbye, humanity. I don't ever want to see you again. I don't want to, and that affected Johnny Cash so much that he covered that song and got even more famous in the aughts for covering 9 Inch Nails than 9 Inch Nails did. That song got to Johnny Cash more than it did to me, because like there's Trent Reznor singing, you can have it all. My empire is shit. It'll take you down. It'll make you hurt. The song is called Hurt because humanity made me hurt so much that I just don't want to be part of it anymore. I don't want their money. I don't want their jobs. I don't want their college or their education or their friends. I don't want their fucking sports. I don't want their food. I don't want their religion or their politics. I like their music. I like their drugs. I like their love, and I like their beauty and their fashion and their makeup. I like their glitz and their glamour, and I like the music, and I like their video games. But most of the rest of their proclivities are something that I actually don't really like that much. And that's something that most people can't actually admit or even come around to say. I just don't really like humanity that much. They're just not that much in common with me. They don't often do the same things that I do. Like, to quote Hobson, right? In Nocturnal Rainbows, right? He opens up with, I don't know what's wrong with Google, but Google can't even Google anything anymore. So we're just going to try again. We're going to refresh and see if Google can be competent with their own coding anymore. Nope. And it's a fresh install of Google, too, and a brand new reformatted computer. You think you're original? You ain't original. You were programmed to be you. You're a slave and you don't even know it. The shit you think of ain't even your thoughts. Let's step out of the box for a minute. How do we know if God exists? How do we know what's positive? Are you the definition of an angel or the opposite? If you lost your wallet and I found it, I would not commit to stealing it. But if the tables turned, then you would pocket it. And this is true. This is true. If you lost your wallet and I found it, I would not commit to stealing it. I wouldn't do that. Not because I don't need the wallet. I don't need the money. Now, if I did need the wallet and I did need the money, I have stolen some wallets in my lifetime. Now, I haven't done this at night point or something. I've never ever involved violence in my crimes, but I have stolen some wallets in my time. And the reason I stole the wallets in my time was that I didn't have enough money to take bus fare home, that kind of thing. So, but if the tables turned, then you would pocket it, right? And this whole core situation here, if you lost your wallet and I found it, I would not commit to stealing it. This is the core of the human race, right? But for me, if the tables turned, which they did, then you would pocket it. This is me. I am Sith. Most of humanity would say, if you lost your wallet and I found it, I would not commit to stealing it, right? Most of humanity would say this, right? I'm saying, if the tables are turned, I would pocket it. And I think the only reason that you think that they say that, you know, I don't know. Like, anyways, you know, if you lost your, they say a conservative is they say a liberal is a conservative who's never been robbed. But honestly, I think of it the other way around. I think a conservative is a liberal who's never been robbed. Because understand, like, once you aren't so naive about how the real world works, you're not so conservative anymore. You know what I'm saying? You begin to realize that people need help. And if they don't get the help, we get Uvalde, Texas. And I think they're finally coming around to that. You know, see, I've been mean for so long, but I still don't know who Skycat is. How come I'm the one my teachers used to have a problem with? I don't know. I show my music to different labels. They ain't too fond of it, right? I don't know. But in the underground, I seem to get so many compliments. But in the underground, I've always been universally loved. Say my name, and it's like people get afraid and shook. But if you take a look, you'll see I'm nothing like an angry crook. I'm not. I'm not like an angry crook. I'm not. People, like, if you say Skycat, people get afraid and shook. They're like, oh, there's an ex-stealer who's like, you know, crazy and all this other shit. And it's like, but no, but if you take a look, you'll see I'm nothing like an angry crook. I'm learning hands-on. You're busy with your face and books. I'm here to benefit the world, so heaven's where you're safely put. I'm not a devil. I'm not speaking in tongues. I just want to touch your heart. I try to reach it in songs. I'm from where a child's future in the streets is with the bombs, you know, and this is the other thing that really mindfucked me. About 7 years, I heard this song, and he said, I'm from where a child's future is in the streets with the bombs. And that's where I come from too. I don't come from there, but that's where I lived for like 20 years. I lived in the ghettos of Denver for like 20 years. And I'm from a place where a child's future is in the streets with the bombs. A lot of the people that I knew, that was where I knew they were going to end up. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to voice all this, but like understanding the ways that the idiots will try to take advantage of you and the ways that they will predictably do so, like this busted door right here, will help you understand, like another lyric, like lyrics will help you understand this pretty well. If you come to Pink Floyd and you look at the song Dogs, right? He wrote this in the 70s. He says, you got to be crazy. You got to have a real need. You got to sleep on your toes. And when you're on the street, you got to be able to pick out the easy meat with your eyes closed. This is something that helped me survive. I was an opportunistic criminal. I never went looking for crime. I only took opportunities when they happened. And then moving in silently downwind and out of sight, I come and I take my opportunity, right? I don't go looking for crime. I don't sit and gangbang on the corner looking for crack money. I'll take an opportunity when I see one because it has not been that good for me. You got to strike when the moment is right without thinking. You know, I'm sorry, I'm not on game capture, so you can't see the things that I'm saying. Yeah, here you go. You got to strike when the moment is right without thinking, and after a while you can work on points for style, like the club tie and the firm handshake, a certain look in the eye and an easy smile, right? That wolf smile, that Jordan Belfont, Wolf of Wall Street smile. See it? You know, and after a while, you can work on points for style, like the club tie and the firm handshake, which I'm pretty good at, you know. A certain look in the eye and an easy smile. See it? See it? And if you don't have it, they won't deal with you. If you don't have the easy handshake and the smile, and see, I don't smile on my stream a whole lot, do I? No. Because my smile is a weapon. You know what I'm saying? So I don't use it a whole lot. I'm like, and I scare people. When I smile, it scares people. Because they don't have a smile like me. You know what I'm saying? The certain look in the eyes and an easy smile. See it? Why are you fucking texting me over and over and over again? What are you doing? When I go to check, there's nothing there.